Hey, welcome to our Monday afternoon live broadcast. Welcome to everyone who's jumping on live with us. And if you're catching this on the rebroadcast, I always appreciate you jumping in with us there as well. Today, we're going to be talking about our environment. And could your environment be that one little thing that's keeping you from getting to that healing point that you are working so hard to achieve with your fasting and your feasting? So welcome, my name is Diane, and for the past 25 years I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best, and most importantly, live their most authentic life. And here in this community, we are doing that through the practice of intermittent fasting and feasting well. And oftentimes what we neglect to consider when we're really trying to focus so closely on our fasting and our feasting is the fact that our environment and what is going on around us and on us, what we're doing to our body and our skin is part of our feasting as well, because it actually goes into our body's system. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I'm going to share what happened to my recent dental visit, and I'm going to share with you some of the changes that we have kind of subtly made over time to help our feasting in our environment as well, and really has contributed to the healing that we are doing, not just for me but for our family as well. When you're jumping on, please take a second to leave a comment for me so that I know you're here in the live community. And then when this goes up as a video, I also appreciate when you stop by and leave me a comment so that I know that you were here as well. And if you have any questions or comments, always leave those for me. We'll address those at the end. So some of the things in the environment that were really making me feel really sick and were really the things that were hindering me from getting over kind of that hump of really healing what it was I was trying to heal with my body were things like soy being present in a lot of the things that we had in our like daily arsenal of either food or products, and soy lecithin most specifically was the thing that was really holding me back from achieving that hormonal balance that I was really looking for. And then we had just some other subtle things that, in the small scheme of things really aren't that big of a deal, but when you start adding up all the little things in life that we're exposed to every single day, that's when it really becomes problematic. So the use of tin foil or aluminum foil, the use of skincare products and personal hygiene products, how often we were actually using the microwave on any given day, candles in the home, air fresheners, cleaning products, laundry detergent, all of those things can be those subtle little nuisances that are causing our body's chemistry to stay out of balance and can really wreak havoc on us mentally and emotionally when we feel like everything that we're doing in our fasting window and everything that we're doing in our feasting window when it comes to nutrients or the foods that we're consuming are absolutely spot on, yet we're not reaping the benefits that we had really hoped that we would with all the changes that we were making. So for me, the first thing that I did was analyze everything that I had going on in my house as far as ingredients labels. And the first thing that I totally eliminated, and this is almost without exception in our home, was the presence of soy. And if you're in our course, we have a whole lesson about soy lecithin and the fact that it's present in just about anything that's going to be processed, or a lot of the things that are in your home environment. So I got rid of air fresheners and candles and a lot of the cleaning products and stuff that we had that just seemed like we're kind of on the edge of just making us toxic in our own home just because of some of the ingredients that were in it. We went through medicine cabinets, we went through the pantry, anything that had soy lecithin in it, we just purged. Skincare products, deodorant, hair care products, all of those things that contain soy lecithin, which was for me the biggest trigger, we just disposed of. Then I started really paying attention to gluten as well, and little did I know that gluten was actually in some of the hair care products that I had. So although I was being really good about what I was plating, as far as the food that I was consuming being gluten-free, I unknowingly was putting gluten in my body just from the skincare and the hair care products that I was using. So the simplest way to figure out whether your products have gluten or soy in them is reading that allergen label. It has to be listed in there. If it's gluten-free, trust me, products prominently display the words gluten-free on their products when they are gluten-free, because so many people are having problems with that these days. Soy is the same thing. It's always listed in the allergen warning label, and just the simple fact that it has to be in an allergen warning label is enough to, pay attention to that particular ingredient in your home care or self-care products. And the reason I knew that to look for gluten was a friend of mine who's a celiac actually warned me that we were on a trip in Mexico on vacation, that the products that were being used or given to us in our room were very high in gluten. And she knew that because she was celiac, so she had to be very careful about it. And lo and behold, I came home from that vacation and had a huge eczema breakout on my skin and my face. And that was the way it kind of showed or made its presence for me, that I was taking in too much gluten, and it was from the hair care and the skin care products that I was using. So I did a clean sweep. I went to my local beauty brands, which is the place that I really like to shop for my hair care, my skincare products. And I asked one of the women who worked there, I said, I need, to go to the aisle with all the products that are gluten-free and soy-free. And lo and behold, I had plenty of options to choose from, and ended up finding stuff for our family that were gluten-free and soy-free, and now those are the products that we use. I first started using the Hemp's, it's HEMPTZ, I think, skincare and hair care products, and then since then have been, kind of experimenting with a few others. But definitely don't hesitate if you feel like you're having something in your environment that's holding you back. Don't be afraid to ask questions when you go to a specialty place like a beauty brands or an Ulta or a Sephora, and ask for their line of products that are gluten-free and soy-free. Remember, anything that we put on our skin should be considered feasting, because it is absorbed by our largest organ, which is our skin, and it gets put into our system and can cause chemical and or hormonal imbalances, and our body will respond to that. So be very diligent if you feel like you're still suffering, but everything that you're doing with your food is right on. Another thing that I have recently changed, and it's been a big improvement for my overall health, is the way that I also practice my dental hygiene. And I am just in awe every time I go for my 6-month dental appointment, and I come out of it with better results than I did the previous time. And the part about that that's really shocking to me is the fact that I'm doing less, and less seems to be more. And I know we've talked here before about whether brushing your teeth or using toothpaste can be that thing that will break a fast. And yes, technically it can be something that could break a clean fast. But most importantly, I think what we as a society tend to do with our personal hygiene products is the same thing that we've done with our food intake, and that is just simply that we're over consuming, and we're over consuming because we're being marketed in such a way to make us believe that that's the way that we need to live. And so what I started doing was just experimenting with what I was doing with my own oral hygiene. And what I did was I invested in a really good, this is an Oral-B electric toothbrush, which has the round toothbrush head on it, which made a huge difference for my own personal dental hygiene, because I have never had my wisdom teeth removed. So I always have molars. I have molars that are very far back on my jawline. And that was really the place that I had the most problems with just getting back far enough and really getting those molars clean. And so I upped my game and got an Oral-B electric toothbrush with the round head, which really did allow me to get really far back and brush around the back side of my molars. And so that was the area, when you go to the dentist and they do, your dental hygienist comes in with the little pokey thing on your gums, and she's poking at your gums, or he, and they're reading off those numbers, and that you really want to be at the 2 or 3, but sometimes you get to that 4 or 5. Well, I was always the 4 or 5 back here, because it was really hard for me to get around those wisdom teeth and the molars that were really far back in my jawline with a regular toothbrush. And since I started using the Oral-B toothbrush, that has improved. The other thing that I have very deliberately practiced over the last year is skipping toothbrush first thing in the morning when I brush my teeth. And I know that freaks a lot of people out, but let me explain to you what happened as a progression with my fasting and my feasting. Well, the better I got at my fasting and the better I got at my feasting, taking out a lot of the unnecessary carbohydrates and sugary things and snacky things in my feasting window, really did allow my, I don't know if it's the pH balance or whatever it is in my mouth, to really balance itself out. So I don't wake up with bacteria breath in the morning. And that's basically what morning breath is. It's that bacteria that just built up in your mouth and causes that odor. And so I would wake up in the morning with, yeah, sure, you have morning breath, but it wasn't like a dirty, like bacteria kind of morning breath. And so I just brushed my teeth with whatever was remaining on my toothbrush from the nighttime brushing, and I would just stick with this toothbrush. And the bristles on this brush actually acted as like a flossing agent between my teeth. So didn't have to use mouthwash. Don't floss the way is recommended at the dentist, and cut out toothpaste first thing in the morning. Now what I did do is I upped my brushing game. So yes, I wasn't using toothpaste in the morning because I wanted to stay in that clean fast, but I added an extra brushing throughout the day. So when I break my fast, I brush my teeth with toothpaste, and then before I go to bed, I brush my teeth with toothpaste. So I added an extra brushing in there and upped my toothbrush game. What happened is that problematic area that I had way back in my molars has completely gone away. So now I'm 2s and 3s and 1s throughout my entire mouth. And that doesn't really happen with people as they age, especially for us women who are going through that hormonal balance change. A big problem area is just having our gums become very sensitive and a little inflamed because our hormones are out of balance. And that has completely balanced out for me. So dental hygiene has gotten better. I've changed the way I use things like lotion and deodorant and skin products on my face, and really have gone to that philosophy of less is more. And on days when I'm staying home and I'm not going anywhere and I'm not going to work out, I've actually even like taken a break from putting deodorant on my armpits, because that is that thing that's just constantly blocking up glands in our body. And if you're not reading the labels on your deodorant, you're not aware of all those products that are getting put right into that area where we have lots of glands and lots of things going on for us hormonally, and we could throw ourselves out of whack. So deodorant is another one of those things that we completely switched gears on and made sure that the products that we're getting are soy free. Again, we've also eliminated some aluminum in our life. I no longer bake with aluminum, so there is a little bit of aluminum in my deodorant. But that's that thing where you have to have those ebbs and flows in your life, and always try to create a situation of the best case scenario when you don't have any other options. Another thing that we've really been aware of is how many times in a day we're utilizing the microwave oven. And we're not that family that's going to be ripping the microwave out of our home because, you know, we know that the microwave can be that thing that can be unsafe for us. We just are very, very limiting on how often we use it. We don't stand really close to it when it's on and actually creating those waves. And we are just making sure that the things that we're doing are going to be the best practices for us overall, without us feeling like we're feeling crazy or we're going to extremes in any way. I mean, there's definitely things that we want to have in our environment for social reasons, and there's things that we want to have for convenience reasons. But we also want to be very conscious about what some of those things could be doing to us to keep us from getting to that point of fully healing our bodies. And I know we're doing it for our son, we're doing it for our daughter, my husband is practicing some of these things as well, just so that we are giving ourselves the best opportunity and not falling victim of what the consumer marketing industry is doing to us, thinking that we have to overconsume or overutilize some of these products when really less can be more. So the dental thing for me is just proof in the pudding for me that, you know, changing some habits and really not being afraid of letting go of some of those convenience or those social niceties that we have. Once you really get your body chemistry under control and you balance out a lot of those toxins that are in your body and get them to flush out, a lot of those really uncomfortable things that we're so afraid of, and why we're so used to covering things up with smelly lotions and perfumes and mouthwashes and all those things, really do end up balancing out, and you create a new norm of what it is that you feel you're most comfortable in. And I know for me, the toothpaste habit has really changed a lot of things for me, even what I'm having my kids do as well. We don't need to use as much. We don't need to use it as often, even if one time out of your day, maybe it's the time before you go to bed at night that you just skip putting all of that sugar and all of those chemicals on that toothbrush, and just give your mouth a break and let it have an opportunity to balance itself out, and see what that does from appointment to appointment at your dentist. And you might be surprised that you really don't have to use as many of those byproducts as we think we do, and that we can just really let our body learn how to balance on its own. And I know for me and my overall healing and health and well-being, it has made the world of difference. And it just takes a lot of the stress off about all the things that we need to purchase and all the things that we need to consume in our everyday routine. So I put the toothbrush that I'm currently using, and everyone in my family has one, on the DiesFavoriteThings.com list. You can get them at Amazon. They're amazing these days. They come in all different varieties of colors. There's all kinds of cool little toothbrush heads that you can put on them for different reasons, and just changing something like that could be that thing that's going to take your healing experience to the next level. And I always say it's never a bad thing to just break some habits and create some new boundaries and some new habits for yourself, and see if that might just be that thing that's going to take you over the edge of healing. So let me welcome everybody on YouTube really quickly, and then I will welcome everyone on Facebook. And I'm sorry, Facebook, that you always get me so close when I reach up here to YouTube. Let me see what we've got here and any questions or comments. Just Jean, Diane, you're looking fabulous. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see, Suzanne, nice to listen to you. Awesome to have you here, Suzanne. Gloria, hello, girlfriend. Amy, love my emptier pantry and fridge. Yeah, that's another thing too. We go to the grocery store now, and that's another thing we've changed some habits onto, and I'll do a discussion about that over maybe the next week or so, about how we've really changed what we do at the grocery store too, and some habits that we've broken, and some new practices and habits that we've created that have really served us well in our house, and how much less we waste now just by changing some grocery shopping or just shopping habits overall. So I'll share that with you guys maybe this week or next week as well. Kim from Carlsbad was in November mini course, always tweaking, adding more water and some magnesium into my routine. Little change, big difference. I totally agree. And congratulations to you for being willing to experiment. Melissa, hello. Simone, hello. Sonia, good to have you here. And Beth, May course, feeling great. Awesome. Love it for sure. Okay, let me see what we got over here on YouTube, on Facebook today. Let's see, Mac or Nina's, hello. Janet, nice to have you here. Catherine, good to see you here. Joy from Utah. Nina, February and March course graduate. Yay! Christina, so happy to catch you live. So happy to have you with us. Sandy, currently feasting on a taco salad with a few siete chips on the side. My health food store carries them. Yay, congratulations. I call that nachos because I love me some nachos, but I just can't justify a plate of tortilla chips anymore. So I make a taco salad and throw my siete chips around the outside of it, and I call that my nachos. So congratulations to you for finding some siete chips. That's the best. Pamela from the May group, I brush in the morning with baking soda. Yeah, there you go. And I actually tried, because a bunch of people were telling me to try charcoal powder, tooth powder or whatever, and I went and I bought some. It's super expensive, and I tried it for a couple of weeks, and oh my gosh, it made a huge mess all over my sink, and like you get black charcoal everywhere, and I didn't really feel like it was necessary, so I tried it for a couple weeks. I would probably use charcoal paste or powder maybe once in a while, but for a daily routine, I thought it was just way too much trouble for what it was worth. So I just used literally whatever is left over on my toothbrush from the night before is exactly what my teeth get in the morning, and I'm fine with that. And what I've noticed is when I drink my water, so I have my full bottle of water in the morning right after I brush my teeth, that helps cleanse out your mouth as well. And you know, everything seems to be fine. So I know there's a lot of you who are self-conscious because you maybe have business meetings or you have to work in an office where you talk to people. So maybe that's the time that you use your toothbrush. I would just recommend using, or toothpaste, maybe recommend just using a little bit less of it, and then rinsing really well, and then maybe having another toothbrush experience throughout your day where maybe you just brush your teeth. Remember, we're brushing our teeth to get plaque off of our teeth. And a toothbrush, especially a really good electric one, will be the thing that does the trick for that. So that's all we're doing, is trying to just get that bacteria out of our mouth. And then the less carbs we eat, the less starchy carbs especially, and the less unnecessary sugars we have roaming around in our mouth, the less chance we have of bacteria buildup. So that's what we want to shoot for as well. Let's see. Sandy, currently feasting. Okay, I already did that one. Gervais, I've been a fan since you broke down how fruit breaks down in the body. I love the way you explain things from a woman's perspective. Oh, awesome. I appreciate that. I always really try to break things down as in a visual of how it's happening inside of my body. And that really does help keep the why factor going for me. So why am I doing this? Why do I want to be healthy? Why do I want to feel this way? And when you can visualize what's going on with your body chemistry and what's happening to your body when you do certain things or you make certain decisions about things, it really does help you take ownership of it. And so that's what I really try to do here, is explain it in that way, because I know that's the way for me to learn and to practice things to make them a lifestyle change. Pamela from the May group, I brush it in the morning with baking soda. Okay, I already read that one. Sorry about that. Sharon, Tom's of Maine natural toothpaste. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I would rather just do nothing. I've tried every natural toothpaste out there, and they just, I don't know, they make my mouth feel and taste horrible. So for me, just a plain old really good toothbrush, brushing away and brushing my tongue has really been the thing that's been helping me a lot. And even the hygienist asked me if I bleach my teeth, and I said no, and I'm a coffee drinker. So the fact that she thought that, you know, that my teeth looked healthy enough, I guess bleached teeth are healthy, I don't know, or that they looked white enough to ask the question if I bleach them, I took that as a good compliment too, that whatever I'm doing is definitely working. And I still drink coffee, so I don't even have to worry about any kind of whitening for my teeth. And maybe it was a byproduct of the charcoal, I don't know, but I took that as a compliment, and whatever I'm doing is working as well. Amy, getting ready for the F3 class. Yes, us too. We're super excited. Debbie from Mars, Pennsylvania. Welcome. Joy, it was a great day when we went through our refrigerator and cupboards. The credit goes to you. Oh, thanks, Joy. Yeah, we had to do the same thing. And you know, I always, Cheryl, I use my charcoal paste at night. Yeah. I was doing it in the morning and I tried it at night, and I thought it was either way, it was a lot of work. So I'll probably reintroduce it maybe once or twice a week. I don't know. But as long as things are going good, I figure things are going good the schedule I have. The thing about checking your environment, and if you think there's some things in your environment that might be stalling your healing, you can do it one of two ways. And I always say this is a personality and a means decision. So I was super sick, so I did what I call this clean sweep. And if it was soy, if it had soy in it, or if it was a gluten-y kind of product, or something that was causing me to have a negative reaction when it was on, in, or around me, I ditched it and I found a replacement. I know that's not feasible for a lot of people, to just clean out pantries and clean out cupboards and go start over. So what I always suggest that you do, if you don't have the means to do the clean sweep, is to find products that consume ingredients that maybe you're not happy with in your life, and the next time you go to the store to replace that product, find an alternative. So I always say this because this was the experience that Gabby and I had the first time we went to go replace some things in our home, is we went on a field trip and we went to, I think it was Sprouts, and it took us about an hour and a half. And the rule was if it had soy lecithin, gluten, or dairy, on the ingredients label or in the allergen statement that it never got into our cart. So we just went and read all the ingredients labels, and we found substitutions for the common everyday things that we had in our house that didn't have those ingredients in it. And so now those are our go-tos, and we just naturally know the brands or the names of the products that we like to have. And our house still contains cookies, and it contains chocolate bars, and it contains snacky foods for the kids. But for the most part, I would say 99% of the time, those things don't contain gluten, dairy, or soy. And that's just because we did our homework. So even if you have to replace things onesie, twosie, that's fine too. Just start creating those new habits. And the best habit you can create is to take the second to turn around something and read what's in the ingredients label. By law, it has to say whether it has the allergens of dairy, wheat, or dairy, gluten, or soy. And just right next to the spaghetti sauce or the tuna fish or whatever it is that has soy or gluten or dairy in it, I guarantee you next to it will be a different version of that same spaghetti sauce with maybe those products not being present. So it just takes a little time to create those new habits, and then reading those ingredients labels are going to help. The other aha moment I had with soy was I loved, you past tense, Bed Bath & Beyond candles. Loved them. They were all over my house. And I couldn't understand why I was having these horrible allergies. And I think this could have been part of the soy problem that I had as well. And so I would have them in the house, but I wouldn't burn them unless company came over, and I was still having these problems. And then one day I walked by the bathroom where one of the candles was sitting, and my eyes just started completely watering, and they were super itchy, and I had that feeling of not feeling well. And I made the connection between the fact that the candle was just sitting there, wasn't even burning. And later I found out that all of the Bed Bath & Beyond, or not Bed Bath & Beyond, is it Bed Bath & Beyond? No, Bath & Body Works is what it is. So Bath & Body Works candles, the really flavorful ones that when you burn them, the whole house smells amazing. They're all soy-based. So I was burning or having soy-based candles in my home that were causing me to have an allergic reaction, and soy is one of those triggers that keeps me hormonally imbalanced. So I could have been doing everything perfect with my food, everything perfect with my feasting, but just having soy-based candles in my home could have been enough to keep me on that hormonal imbalance train, and that can get you to the point of making you feel crazy when you think you're doing everything right. So, you know, do your due diligence with all of those things that you have around your house, even the air fresheners that you're plugging into the wall, or the stuff you're putting on your carpet. You consume that when it's in your environment and you're breathing that in, and that does cause a chemical reaction. We know that smells and tastes and all those things do cause us to have those hormonal reactions, and that could be that thing that's keeping you sick. So it's worth it to kind of just go through your house and, you know, maybe pick a room here and there to kind of do an inventory on. Do an inventory of your laundry room, do an inventory of your kitchen pantry. What are you using to cook with? What kind of cooking sprays are you using, and all of those types of things. And then just gradually start to change them out, and I guarantee you it'll start to feel better and get that hormonal balance that you're looking for. Sandy, curious what your thoughts are on eating fermented foods to keep the gut biome healthy and the benefits that come along with that, including not having bad breath. I don't do any of the fermented kind of things. I think every now and then we put some some sort of like yogurt kind of thing in a shake that we make or whatever. But on a daily basis, I don't really like fermented foods, I don't think. So I don't really worry about that. For me, what I'm doing with my collagen and the stuff I'm putting in my coffee now and when I'm breaking my fast has some properties that really help with balancing out the gut biome. And then to me, a healthy gut is an empty gut. So the pure process of fasting alone can really help balance out your gut biome. I don't really do anything fermented per se for me. I just don't enjoy those kind of foods like sauerkrauts and stuff like that. Not really. Let's see. I got some more over here on YouTube. Let me get these really quick. Melissa, hello. Simone, hello. Sonia, hello. Beth, May course, feeling great. Beth, I'm using way less toothpaste and only 1 or 2 swipes of the deodorant. I feel just as fresh as before when I used heaps more. Yeah, that's another thing with the deodorant too. Like we literally like touch our, I'm teaching this to my daughter too. We barely touch ourselves, and that's enough. And again, it's that thing that when you don't have as many toxins in your body and you don't have as many things in your body going against your natural body system, then your body just responds naturally. And so I don't sweat as much, like just on a casually, I guess it is. My sweat, hot flashes have totally gone away thanks to my hormonal balance. So all of those things will start to naturally just go back to what normal is. And we put so many things on us to stop our body's natural responses to things that we don't even know what normal is anymore. So yes, you don't need as much deodorant. You don't need as much lotions. You don't need as much of anything once you really get your body to balance out, and it starts to respond normally to a lot of things. So, and that's a great thing to teach to kids as well. Not having to overconsume so many things on their body. Melissa, coconut oil pulling is great, or simply brushing your teeth with coconut oil. Yeah, I tried that too. Amazing discovery you made about the soy and the candles. I do use essential oils. Yeah, I don't use essential oils at all. We're so simple here, it's not even funny. So I don't use any of those kind of things. I just want my life to be simple, and it goes back to that do nothing, embrace everything mentality. I want to have as little upkeep as possible in our day-to-day life, and we really have just cut out a lot of those things just to enjoy the simplicity of just being. And our, you know, our house smells great. We have a dog. No one knows we have a dog. We keep ourselves clean. We keep our house clean. We use vinegar and water to clean most of the things in our house surface wise. And we really have gotten away from a lot of those just perfumey chemical type of things, and we all feel better. And I was noticing that I was just not feeling my best. And that was that thing that really took me over to that next level of not being so focused on just the food. Of course, I pay a lot of attention to that too, but it's also a lot of the stuff in your environment and a lot of the stuff you're putting on your skin that could be causing you that feeling of just not getting to that healing point that you want to get to. So read your labels, go room by room if you need to, and slowly start to make those changes. When you really start to listen to the signs and signals that your body is sending you, even the slightest thing like a candle in a bathroom down the hall will cause a reaction for you because you're tuned in. And once you start really feeling great and you put something in your environment that doesn't work well with your body chemistry, your body will tell you. And you got to do your inspector work, and you have to investigate, and you have to figure out what that one thing was. And it was a candle in the bathroom down the hall for me. And when I did my research on those candles and realized that they are soy-based candles, and just being present in my house was enough to make me sick, I got rid of all of them. And yeah, that was hard for me to do because I absolutely loved them, and I loved the way they made my house smell all cozy and warm, but it just wasn't worth me being sick. And if it was making me sick, then it was probably doing something to my daughter's little body as well, and maybe even my son's body, and probably my husband's body. And there's no candle that's going to smell good enough to keep us sick. And nothing against Bath and Body Works by any means, but they're just a candle production company that just doesn't work for our family anymore. And we did the same thing with aluminum foil and our deodorant and our shampoo and our lotions and all those things. So do your work and figure out what that one little thing could be that's keeping you from that healing point, so that you're not feeling so stressed out about the perfect fasting window and the perfect feasting window that you've already created for yourself. I hope this opens up some things for you guys to look into your home or your environment. That might be helping you get to yourself to that healing point that you're looking for. The toothbrush, I listed it on the Dai's Favorite Things page, so just go to www.daisfavoritethings.com. All of my favorite things that we have in our household are usually listed there, so definitely take a look and see if maybe something as simple as upping your toothbrush game could be that thing that can kind of help you improve your dental hygiene as well. Thanks so much for jumping on with us. Our June intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course is open for enrollment. We start June 9th. I would love to have you jump in with us to go back to these basic sort of seeking out the things in our environment and the things that we're doing in our everyday that could be keeping us from looking and feeling our best and living our most authentic life. That's what that course is for. And for those of you who've already graduated from one of our courses, our fasting, feasting, and fitness course is now open for enrollment as well. We will start that on June 2nd, so I would love to see you guys in that course. And I did want to make a little note about the fasting, feasting, and fitness course. Don't let that fitness part of it scare you away. we are really gonna hone in on what it is we need to do as women and men. We're going to make this a co-ed group, so we're hoping that we'll have some men jump on board with us. What do we need to do to make sure that we're at our functional best? So what is it that we need to do in our everyday movement, how it is we're thinking about our body, what it is that we enjoy doing to be active, and really keep our bodies functionally fit so that we can enjoy life as we want to enjoy it as we go through this aging process, and really figure out what's keeping us from getting to that point physically. It's not that you have to run a marathon or that you have to train super hard or that you have to commit to something that you're not comfortable with. We're going to help you find your comfort with fitness so that you can remain functionally fit and hopefully injury-free and really reap all the benefits that having an active and fit life can do for us. And it's not just about our physique, it's about improving our brain health, it's improving our cardiovascular health, it's going to be improving our mood and all the things that are associated with being a totally fit person. So don't let fitness scare you. We're going to encompass all aspects of fitness and let you figure out what fitness means for you. So if you've done one of our courses before, that's definitely going to be a course you want to look into. I'm going to jump off for now, but I hope you guys will join me on Wednesday. We will be back here at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like I always say, if you've been here live or you've been here on the rebroadcast, please leave me a message and let me know you were here. That way I can let you know how much I appreciate you being part of this community. And then we will talk a little bit more over the next week or so about some of the other changes that we've made in our lifestyle that has really helped simplify things for us, helped us save a lot of money, and really helped us up our game on what we're doing with healing our body. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys next time.